Hello, I'm Lindsay, Lindsay Jane Hunter, and this video is for the Creative Therapeutic Services at Murray Hall. And this particular video is really for parents, carers, people at home, particularly in lockdown with your family, with children, young people, whoever's in your home. And it's kind of about self-care, I suppose, and about kind of making sure that we get the things that we need, because this is a really intense, heightened time, and that old saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. There's something in that. We are doing so much to try and keep our family units regulated and safe and nurtured and looked after, and it's exhausting and it's draining, and so I just want to speak a little bit about about kind of looking after ourselves and about identifying what it is that we need to be able to be re-energized, and then to be able to kind of carry on giving the children and young people in our care what they need. So I thought that it would be useful to talk a little bit about a model called the Love Languages, the 5 Love Languages. And there's loads of books about this by an author called Chapman, if you're interested, the 5 Love Languages. And I just think it's a really helpful model for thinking about kind of relationships with others, and also kind of with yourself, and about how you experience feeling loved and valued. So the 5 love languages, I'll just say a little bit about each one. So the first one is physical touch. So that would be kind of hugs and kisses and high fives and little strokes on the arm and all that kind of tactile, touchy-feely stuff. We have quality time. So that would be kind of spending time together in the same space, doing the same thing. So whether that's kind of talking, having a conversation, or playing a board game, or cooking together, but kind of doing something together. We have acts of service. So that's kind of doing something, someone doing something for you, or doing something for someone else. So acts of service might be like somebody cooking you dinner, making you a meal, or going off and fixing a shelf that's been broken because it's bothering you. Not doing it for themselves, but doing it kind of for you. That's an act of service. So what's that? Physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and affirmations. So affirmations is about saying nice things, basically, compliments, letters, messages of love, somebody kind of saying to you, you're doing a really great job, I'm really proud of you, I really value you. Those would be the affirmations. And then the final one is gifts and tokens. So that doesn't necessarily mean like big expensive things, but it's kind of little tokens, little presents that make you kind of feel great, loved, valued, important. And so while I've been speaking, you might have found that one or two of those you went, yes, I love it when that happens. And you kind of connected a bit with some of them more than others. And if you didn't, then it's worth thinking about that a bit, because most people have one, or sometimes a primary and a secondary, one that's really strong and one that's also quite strong, that really connects for them. And those are the things that, their love languages that make them feel really valued, loved. So, and sometimes those are not the same as the people that you live with often or in a relationship with. And so it's useful from that point of view too, because, for example, I really value quality time and also gifts and tokens. And my husband is all acts of service all the way. So if it's my birthday, maybe he would spend like 6 hours and 47 pans making a really lovely meal. And whilst I can appreciate it in theory, actually I just end up feeling like, well, I didn't get any time with you because you were in the kitchen and I wasn't. I would have wanted the quality time. I would have rather you ordered a takeaway, or did something really quick and easy, and then we sat down together, because I would have wanted the quality time. And in the same way, if you're an affirmation person, but not really a gifts and tokens, on your birthday or at Christmas or something, do you go straight to the card and want to see, did they make an effort? Did they write a proper message? Does it say something personal and nice in there? And you're not so worried about the present, for example, that would be a positive affirmation thing. So it's kind of interesting in relationships with others, because it helps you to realise actually what are the things that work for me, that make me feel great, and what works for them. And when you share that, you can kind of appreciate a bit more. Oh, they were trying to do something really nice because that's their love language. Or actually, for me, for example, coming home from the supermarket with a t-shirt for my husband because I thought, oh, he'd really like that. I'm thinking, oh, that's so nice of me. I was thinking about him. And he's just like, thanks. How much did you spend on that? But it's not his love language, it's mine. So don't do it now because he doesn't value it. But he does it more for me because he knows that I do. So it's kind of good to understand these. And the same for your children. So often, let's say, for example, as a parent, your acts of service and your love that you show to your children is by cooking them meals and cleaning the house and making sure that all their clothes are beautifully ironed. You know, you're kind of doing things for them. And let's say that theirs is quality time. It can end up feeling really disconnected because you can feel like I'm doing all these things for you all the time. You don't appreciate any of them. And they're thinking, I don't care, basically. Not they don't care, but they're not experiencing it as love. So you might be working really hard to make sure all their clothes are always clean, ironed, folded, neatly put away, beautifully organised, colour-coded t-shirts, whatever. And they're not experiencing that as love. They're thinking like, please just sit down with me for 5 minutes. I want the quality time with you. I want to sit and do a game, read a book. That would feel like love for me. So I think in this time of lockdown, actually understanding these kind of different nuances of how different people feel loved is really important, because it really gives that sense of kind of being able to connect with somebody in a way that they feel loved, valued, appreciated. And that helps. It helps everybody's energy to feel more positive, uplifted, connected to each other. And that's helpful when we're all kind of stuck in this environment together. It's helpful anyway, but particularly at the moment. But I also wanted to think a little bit in this video, which won't go on for too much longer, about how that can apply to yourself, and being able to kind of give yourself opportunities for self-care and re-energizing yourself and giving yourself space and nurture and love to be able to then kind of keep going. And so part of that self-care, I think, when you start to understand how you experience love, what makes you feel valued and what energizes you and nurtures you, then you can make choices about that. So sometimes we can kind of think, self-care, what does that look like? A hot bath with a glass of wine, lovely. And if you are a quality time person, that is probably exactly what you need for your self-care, because probably that quality time with yourself with no interruptions is what you want. But actually, if you're not a quality time person, if you're a positive affirmation person, lying there in the bath alone with a glass of wine might not really be what you hoped it was going to be. And maybe what you actually need is to write yourself a letter that tells you nice things about yourself, or listen to a really uplifting podcast, or phone somebody that you really care about and ask them to say something nice to you. And that actually what you need is those words and that language that's going to boost you. And so it's about that. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at here, I suppose. It's about this kind of idea that actually we're not all nurtured and boosted by the same things. And when you start to have that understanding, it's much more helpful to be able, it helps you to understand yourself better, the other people in your world, and how you can all support each other to feel loved, which is important, because when we feel loved, then we feel valued, we feel connected to other people, we feel part of something important, part of our family unit, part of the relationship, And when we feel that, we feel happier. It releases all these lovely happy hormones, and we are boosted and energized and gentler and kinder with each other, and have more to give. It fills us up with good stuff, so we can pour some of that out into our family. So I hope that's helpful. It's a bit of a whistle-stop tour. But as I said, Gary Chapman's your guy if you want to read any more about it. Any questions, pop them in the comments of the video and I'll do my best to answer them. Please do let me know if it's been useful. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much. Bye for now. Bye.